Blessings, Rock and Metal Guardians. I hope you're doing well wherever you may find yourselves. I'm Dane, host of the channel, and today's episode is ranking the studio albums of Mr. Ian Hunter. So let's go ahead and jump right in. There are 16 studio albums in total, so we're just doing studio albums, no live material. If I threw live stuff in here, that would change the whole thing in many ways. So, number 16 is the only real album in his entire discography, which I don't care for. There are only 2 songs on this album I like, and I'm talking about Short Back and Sides. He cuts his hair. Maybe that was a Samson thing. That's a joke, of course. Cutting your hair and destroying your powers, that kind of thing. When he was in the process of finding a new album or wanting to record a new album, he wasn't sure what direction he'd want to take. So he called up Mick Jones, The Clash, not Foreigner, and hey, let's collaborate, write some songs together, that kind of thing. And this is what you get. So let me talk about some of the tracks. Some of my discussions for certain albums will be longer than others. So when it comes to Short Back and Sides, the first song is Central Park and West. You have an opening section that sounds like 80s new wave. Not my cup of tea. Also have these laser sounds, like, there's some sort of war in space going on. They're not throughout the whole song, but they're brief. It's just, again, that 80s thing, not my cup of tea. There's some other albums that have a little bit of this going on, not much, but we'll get to that. As I said, it's 2 new wave sounding for me, 2 80s in that sense, so I'm out on that song. The second track blends, and the second track is Lisa Likes Rock and Roll, blends a 50s bebop, a lupa type with the new wave stuff that he's doing here. It's okay, I don't really care for it though. The third song is just outright terrible. I Need Your Love, doesn't do anything for me. And then the song Old Records Never Die is, I would say, just okay. And then you have the fifth song, Noises, which has this 80s new wave sound again, and I just simply wrote down yuck. So, next song is Rain, number 6. New wave type ballad. More talking, singing, poet-like than a song, and I do like some of that from Ian, but not here. Then you have the song Gun Control, reggae, new wave pop silliness, post-punk new wave sounding. I'm out on here as well, not my cup of tea. Then you get Theater of the Absurd, very reggae-like also. There are sound effects, the lasers are back, so no, it's also a silly song. Then you have the track Leave Me Alone. Here he's singing with a deeper baritone voice, Bowie-like, but it doesn't work. I think it's pop song rubbish. I think it's awful, and there's too much repetitive of singing Why Don't You Leave Me Alone. There's just too much of that over and over and over again. And then finally, the last song, track 10, is Keep On Burning. Now this song is powerful. This is a track I like. Mostly the Ian Hunter voice and the mood and the tone that you want from him, vocal-wise, voice-wise, phrasing-wise. You have some Dylan-esque keys that are a nice touch. However, I can do without the background vocals. So the song's not perfect, but it is very good, as I said. And then the way the song closes, the last minute or so, give or take, you have this gospel-style rendition, but the Dylan-esque keys return underneath that. So that's kind of cool. So again, I only like 2 songs. Keep On Burning, which I think is quite good or very good. It's not perfect, it's not great, as I said. And Old Records Never Die is okay. So that's that album, which I can dispense with my notes. So I'll do that now, folks. All right. So again, number 16, Short Back and Sides. Now, the rest of the discography, as you'll see, some of them have songs I don't like, but overall, the rest I'm presenting here is much better than what I just presented, number 16. So having said that, number 15 is, and this is a whole main CD, by the way. All the good ones are taken. I made my own front and back. The reason I did that is because when looking for this many moons ago, and I check every once in a while, I checked about a month ago, third-party sellers want $80 for this. I'm just not going to pay $80 for this. So let's talk about what I like about this CD and what I don't like about this CD. Here we go. Some of it has an 80s, definitely has an 80s feeling sound to it, but it's not as bad as what I just presented to you. There's none of that laser pointing stuff, and there's no reggae and that kind of stuff. The title track, all the good ones are taken, that starts the album. I love. I remember seeing the video on MTV, and Ian Hunter's walking down the street with like a bald bodyguard and a dog or something. And his hair's really long. He looks really cool. He's wearing a white suit and a white tie, and just a great video. But the song is what matters. The song's great, I think. And there's two versions, but I'll get to that. Every Step of the Way is a song I do like. Fun is a fun song, but it's hard to take serious. It's an okay song. Speechless, it's pretty awful. I'll just say that. Death and Glory Boys. Now this is a really good song. I really enjoy this song. That Girl Is Rock and Roll, also a good song. That's kind of what you expect Ian Hunter to do on an album, talking about rock and roll in some fashion. Something's Going On, I would say, is a just slightly above average song. Captain Void and the Video Jets is, I think, pretty bad. It's this 80s quirky. When I listen to the song, I imagine this is something maybe Bowie could have done, and it would have worked, but it just doesn't work here, and maybe not. But when I listen to the song, I imagine people on the dance floor doing this and all that nonsense. That's the type of song that is. It's 80s. And of course this came out in 83, so Ian Hunter's trying to do what so many bands did, and I'll talk about this with other bands, Rush and King Crimson, trying to do what the Joneses are doing, so to speak. So, and then you have the song Seeing Double, which is actually quite a good song. It's not great, but it's a good song. And then you have the slow version of All the Good Ones Are Taken, which I just love as well. I like the original better, but I do love this one as well. And then finally, the end of the album comes with Traitor. And this is this is a single. This was a single. It's a single version. I don't know if there's another version. I don't have it. It's not anything in my full discography that I have here. I have every studio album by Hunter, as you'll see. But so this, I would say, is out of 10 stars, a 7. So it's much better than, way much better than the previous album that I showed you. Again, there's not, for me personally, there's not much to like here. I know critic Martin Popoff raves about this album, but he's a Clash fan, and I'm not much of that, so I get that. This works better for me, although it's, again, not perfect, but it comes in at number 15. Now, this next album, Ian Hunter disavowed, and if you do the research, you'll find, which is easy to do, he said that this album was a mistake. I'm glad he did it, although it is number 14, so it's low in the list. It's not a perfect album by any stretch. There are some songs on here I don't like. I'm talking about Overnight Angels, great album cover. The song that I don't like on here is Justice of the Peace. It's silly, it's goofy, but I do like the guitar solo on that song. That's the only redeeming quality it has. Overall, the song was just terrible. It's probably the worst. I would say it's probably the worst song. If you don't count anything on Short Back and Sides, it's the worst song in his whole discography. And maybe even the worst song in his entire discography if you count Short Back and Sides, but who knows? I haven't really explored that really in full depth. Anyway, now the song To Love a Woman is okay, but it's not Ian Hunter to me. I think it would be better if the Bee Gees did it. It's that kind of song. It's not awful, just not, as I said, the Ian Hunter I know and love. So the songs on here are small print. Side 1, Golden Opportunity. I like the song. Shallow Crystal. I like it. The title track is great. Okay. Broadway is good. As I said, Just As the Piece is not. Wild and Free is good. The Ballad of Little Star is good. And God, these horrible small track listings. Miss Silver or something. I can't read it, but sorry about that. Wasn't prepared for this. For some reason, I thought they were larger. But anyway, overall, I do like this album. I would give this a 7.5 or 8 out of 10. So coming in at number 14, Overnight Angels, his third album. All right, number 13, Man Overboard. Now, get my notes for this one. All right. First song is The Great Escape. It's a slow number about getting away, avoiding fighting, avoiding fights. The middle part of the song, there's this odd piano interlude. Not very Ian Hunter. It's not the piano you expect from Ian Hunter. It's brief though. It's an okay song. Overall, this album is very, mostly, for the most part, it's mostly quiet. 75%, most of the songs has a quiet mood, vibe, tone, and feel to it. I would say low tempo type stuff, right? It's serene, it's somber, yet it's also hopeful. It's very poetic, and I do like that about him. The next song is Arms and Legs. I do like it. It's a song about aging, and it's also about walking away from love, but realizing, hey, I made a mistake, and I'm in love with this person that I walked away from. I'm loving them from afar. So it's about regret. It's about love and sex. It's about lust and love. And missing out on love. I like the song. Next is Up and Running. I'll just say it's a nice upbeat song. Then the title track, perhaps the best song on the album, perhaps. Dylan-esque harmonica intro. I put a heart here because it's a great song. The music is great, the lyrics are great, and the thematic richness of the lyrics are wonderful. Perhaps a top 30 song in his whole discography. Next is Babylon Blues. Nice upbeat song, great lyrics, cool piano. Girl from the Office. It's okay. It's very average. Next is Flowers. I do like the song. He sings flowers sometimes aren't enough. You have to try harder in relationships. It's an acoustic number. The lyrics are phenomenal. Next is These Feelings. It's an okay song. It's slow, kind of drags. It doesn't seem to have a bridge. It does, but you have to, search for it, kind of thing. And then you have Win It All. Nice slow tempo song. Great lyrics. I do like the song. Away with Words, similar to the previous song, but better because the lyrics are better and the music is even similar to Win It All. It has a better vibe to it, and I just think you can appreciate it more. And finally, the last song is River of Tears, and this is a great way to end the album. Nice piano here, a song about the Native Americans. This song is fabulous. It's goosebumpy type song, and it's very poetic. Of course, it's poetic. It's Ian Hunter. So coming in at number 13 again is Man Overboard. Great album cover, and I like the back album art as well. And some cool photos from the studio sessions of this album. Really cool. All right. Okay, number 12, Shrunken Heads. Now, opening song, words, parentheses, Big Mouth. The intro has a Dylan like a Rolling Stone because of the keys or organ. It's a song about changing one's ways. There's a slow bluesy guitar solo, brief but nice in the song. And I used to share this with my I used to share this quote with my students. I do still sometimes, but I forget sometimes. This is like a thing I put on the board at the beginning of each class or in the morning. There's a phrase for it. Anyway, it's a hook for the students to start the class. Anyway, and the quote from the song is, "Words can eat a man alive," which of course is the opposite of the kindergartenish or first or second grade thing that we learn in the schoolyard, that, sticks and stones can break my bones, but words can never hurt me. Well, I think words can eat a man or a woman alive. Words can be hurtful. So this is what the song is about. It's quite good. It's very poetic. I would say this is not Ian Hunter at his best, but it is close, if that makes sense. The lyrics, as I said, are great. Next is Fussin' About Nothing. It's an okay song. It's average. The guitar is very cool, though. All right, the next song is When the World Was Round. I think this is a great song. It's slow. It tugs at your emotions, lyrically and musically. Hunter's vocal phrasing is phenomenal. And boy, is he singing his heart out. This is one of my favorite songs by him of all time. Next is the song Brainwashed. The theme, the content of the lyrics is great, criticizing materialism, consumerism. The chorus or post-chorus is a bit quirky, but it's not a bad quirky. Musically, it's quite good. At the halfway point, you hear kind of segues into kind of a brief, dark, or even more moodiness. It becomes very dark. It's weird, but in a weird way. He says you're under, and the solo is the guitar solo is even weird. So it's an odd song for Hunter, but it works. There's a ukulele towards the end that works, and then it gets back to a light upbeat towards the end of the song. All right, the title track. This is the longest track on the album. It's a slow ballad, and it's about the widening divide between the rich and the poor, and essentially talking about stupid politicians, shrunken heads because they're stupid, they're ignorant, they don't care about people. A lot of politicians, not all of them, I would assume is what he means. And then, continuing with the title track, you have some great lyrics. It's powerful, it's thematic, it's relevant. The last minute and a half is a nice closing arrangement, and I think this is one of his best songs of all time, actually. Next, you get Soul of America. You get back to this opening part of the song, back to this Dylan-esque harmonica. Excuse me, but it's just the beginning of the song. It's very similar to the song Someone to Believe In, which I believe is on Rant or Artful Dodger. So it has that same, it's almost self-plagiarism, but not quite. It's very similar, as I said. But I do appreciate the sentiment. Now here's where it gets tricky. He may be being sarcastic. Either way, I appreciate the sentiment, or I appreciate the sarcasm, or he's being both at the same time. Because, like, if he's being sarcastic, then it's like Bruce Springsteen's Born in the USA. This is not flag-waving, 100% patriotic. He's criticizing America so that it gets off his butt to be a better nation, that kind of thing. Again, often Hunter will sing about America because he lives here, and because he cares about the world, and he cares about people who live in the United States. He's that kind of person. Now, the next song speaks to me personally. And the first time I heard it, I didn't, and this is, of course, years ago when it first came out. And then the second time I heard it, wait a minute, this is a song about Hurricane Katrina, which makes sense because this came out in 2001. And the song's called How's Your House? It's a very quirky and weird song, not very Ian Hunterish, but because he took the time out to deal with this personal tragedy, again, caring about America, caring about people who live, in this case, us folk in Louisiana and Mississippi. So, weird guitar effects here, back in the mix, which are weird but kind of cool. Again, it's about Hurricane Katrina. Part of the lyrics, FEMA wouldn't help me, the good book will. The song has almost a Mott the Hoople feel to it. I do like it. Next song is Guiding Light. This is a slow number. It's okay. It's average, though emotive. Way back in the mix, you have this Dylan-esque keys and organ like Rolling Stone. One of his go-to things that he does. The next song is Stretch. This is a nice tune, one of the best songs in the album. I think it's a great song. There's a guitar hook and riff that sounds familiar, but I can't put my finger on it. And there's a great piano here too. Let's see. What did I miss? Any songs? That was Stretch. Oh yeah, I Am What I Hated When I Was Young. Track number 10. This has a country type feel, ballroom blues country feel to it. Not my cup of tea. And then we have the last song, track 11, Read 'em and Weep. And this is a song about losing someone because of a loss. The relationship has ended, so from that. And I think this is a fabulous ballad. I think this is a great way to close the album. Anyway, so cool album cover, Shrunken Heads, and great back cover as well. 11 pretty cool tracks. Now, just to review very quickly, with the exception of one album, there are no bad albums in this bunch. Okay, so let's just remember that. All right, now, so Shrunken Heads was number 13. Let's review quick. 16, Short Back and Sides. 15, All the Good Ones Are Taken. 14, Overnight Angels. 13, Man Overboard. 12, Shrunken Heads. Number 11, Fingers Crossed. And this is him with the Rant Band. And the opening track, let me get my notes here. Yes, here we go. That's When the Trouble Starts. Great way to open the album. I love it. It's a nice rocker. And then the next song is Dandy, which is a tribute to David Bowie. Of course, he's going to do that. This came out in 2016, so right around the time Bowie passed away, give or take. And the opening lyrics are something about he's speaking to his daughter, or the protagonist is speaking to his daughter, or speaking to someone, and he says, "You said that he was greater than the Beatles and the Stones," and I agree with that. So great song about David Bowie. And then the next song is Ghosts. This is a nice acoustic tune, mid-tempo. I do like it. Then you have the title track, which is a lovely, warm, incredibly written lyrics, and overall a great slow song. I put a little heart there. It's great. Next song is White House. It's okay. The next song is Bow, B-O-W, Bow Street Numbers. Cool organ, back in the mix. At the beginning of the song. Doesn't last. I think it's a great song. It's a light and shade song, and is a great guitar solo. Next is Morpheus. Great emotive slow song. Great lyrics. It's very emotive. It's very powerful. One of the best tracks on the album. One of the best tracks in the back half of this catalog, if you ask me. Then we get Stranded in Reality. Mid-tempo arrangement number. You have some harmonica, but it's brief in the middle section of the song. It's a very good song. Next, you got You Can't Live in the Past. This is a nice tempo, slow song, and I think it's great. I think it's phenomenal. And then finally, you have Long Time. It's a ballroom piano blues intro, maybe ragtime. It's just okay. I think it's a poor choice for a closer. Normally, Ian Hunter's normally known for having great closing songs on his albums. This is not one of those. I would have switched this song Long Time with You Can't Live in the Past. Anyway, so, but I do like this album. It does make it to number 11. So, what is cracking my top 10, folks? Oops, let's see. Yes. What is cracking my top 10? When I'm President, also him and the Rant Band. I think this is an underrated gem. And as a Scott, some critics have not said they didn't like it. Anyway, let's talk about this CD. All right, the first song, Comfortable, and in parentheses, Flying Scotsman. It's a nice upbeat song to start the album, and it's a fun song, and that's all I'll say. Next is Fatally Flawed. I love the song. Full-blown Dylan-esque song with respect to the intro. It builds up to a full-blown Ian Hunter type song. So it has a Dylan-esque intro, then it gets into that more, what we know and love to be the vibe, tone, mood, and sound of Ian Hunter's work. But there's this to and fro eventually between the Dylan-esque and the Ian Hunter styles. And I like it though. I think this is a great song. It's that light and shade as well. Next is the title track. This is a solid track. I like it. It's relevant to today. It's thought-provoking lyrics. And that's what you expect of Ian Hunter. And then you get What For? This is a nice upbeat song, some piano, nice Mott the Hoople feel, Jerry Lee Lewis as well feel to it at the beginning of the song anyway. It's a nice rocker and there's a wonderful guitar solo. I think this is a fabulous song. Next song is Black Tears. This is to and fro with his vocal range that he's doing, soft and then soft-spoken and then heavy at times. There's a great guitar here. I put wow, and it's very emotive. Black Tears, highly recommend. The next song is just called Saint. It's a cool song. It's fun. It's a light rocker. Just the Way You Look Tonight, just above average song. I like it though. Next is Wild Bunch. It's okay, nothing great. And then the next song is Tushonka Whitco, and then parentheses, Crazy Horse. It's okay, nothing. I think it's very uneventful. Not sure what he's trying to do here. I can't describe the song. You have to listen to it for yourself, but I don't care for it. It's okay, I guess. Finally, the song I Don't Know What You Want. This is a nice heavy blues rocker, nice heavy blues guitar, and a great vocal delivery. In fact, this is a fantastic song. Finally, the song Life to end the album. It's a wonderful, beautiful, slow song, great music, great lyrics. So here he ends the album with a great closer. So When I'm President, Ian Hunter and the Rant Band. All right, coming in at number 10. So cracking my top 10. Number 9 is Defiance Part 2, Fiction. Here are the songs: People, Fiction, The Third Rail, This Ain't Rock and Roll, great song. You can pretty much bank on when rock and roll is in the title of a song from Hunter, it's going to be great. Precious, then Weed, Kettle of Fish is really good. The 7th track, What Would I Do Without You, and Everybody's Crazy But Me, and then the last song is Hope. Let's talk about who plays on this album, because we'll get to that. Let's see. All right, I'm not going to read all this album and Defiance Part 1. These are all guest musicians. And these two albums have a little bit more on tempo than, say, Man Overboard and Shrunken Heads and Overnight Angels and Fingers Crossed and When I'm President has a lot of upbeat stuff. Okay, so Robin Zander on People, Rick Nielsen on People, Joe Elliott background vocals, and Ian Hunter himself playing piano. The song Fiction, Morgan Fisher, his old bandmate, right? Piano solo and organ, Ian Hunter playing piano. The Third Rail, Jeff Beck on lead guitar. And this song is dedicated to Jeff. It's a great song. These 3 songs are wonderful. The next song, This Ain't Rock and Roll, is my favorite song on the album. Phil Collen, background vocals, Ian Hunter piano. There are other names, I'm just not reading them, like Dane Clark, Tony Shanahan, Tom Peterson, Dane Clark. All right, the next song, Precious, Taylor Hawkins on drums. Brian May, rhythm guitar, lead guitar, and bass. Joe Elliott, background vocals. James Maestro, I don't know who that is, sax. It's called Sax Abuse. And, of course, piano by Hunter. The next song is Weed. Eric Kretz of Stone Temple Pilots on drums. Robert DeLeo, Stone Temple Pilots on bass. Andy Burton on organ. I don't know who that is. Dennis DeBreezy, background vocals. Ian Hunter on piano. Kettle of Fish. Taylor Hawkins on drums. Robin Zander, background vocals. Rick Nielsen, electric rhythm and lead guitars. Of course, Hunter playing electric guitar in this number. This is a great song, Kettle of Fish. What Would I Do Without You? Lucinda Williams on lead and background vocals here. This is nice. Andy York, baritone guitar. Ian Hunter on piano. Everybody's Crazy But Me. This is a quirky, fun, but great song. Taylor Hawkins on drums. Paul Page on bass, I don't know who that is. James Maestro, electric guitar. Dennis DeBreezy and Andy York, background vocals, and Ian Hunter on piano. Hope, Taylor Hawkins on drums and bass. Wow. Lucinda Williams, harmony vocal. Billy Bob Thornton, background vocals. J.D. Andrew, electric guitar. Andy York, acoustic and electric guitar, and Ian Hunter on piano. There's a shot of him with his acoustic guitar. This is a nice return to form in the sense that you have a lot more rockers on here than the ballady kind of stuff. I like both types of stuff from Ian, so I highly recommend, if you don't have Defiance Part 2, that you get this. So that comes in, as I said, at number 9. When I'm President was number 10. So let me get this sucker back in here. We could talk about number 8. And number 8 is Defiance Part 1. Yep, same thing like Defiance Part 2. You have some nice rockers, and you have some slow stuff as well. And it's all star cast. Let's take a look at that. Some of the same musicians on Part 2. but some new ones. Defiance, the title track, has Robert Trujillo on bass, Slash on guitar, Ian on electric. Then you have Bed of Roses, Ringo Starr on drums, Mike Campbell, acoustic and electric rhythm guitars, slide guitar, mandolin. Mike Campbell's wonderful. Andy Burton, organ. Andy York, background vocals. Ian Hunter, piano. No Hard Feelings. Johnny Depp, acoustic and electric rhythm guitars, slide guitar, background vocals. Jeff Beck, lead guitar. Ian Hunter, piano. All right. Pavlov's Dog, Eric Kretz, drums. Dean DeLeo, electric rhythm and lead guitars, acoustic guitar, slide guitar. Robert DeLeo, bass. Ian Hunter, piano. Again, I'm not reading all the characters here. Musicians, excuse me. Don't Tread on Me, Rich Pagano, drums, congas, percussion. Todd Rundgren, rhythm and lead electric guitars, background vocals. Ian Hunter, piano. Guernica. This is an amazing song because Ian Hunter puts himself in the shoes and takes on the role of Picasso himself and talks about why he painted this so important painting. Mike Campbell, electric rhythm and lead guitars. Joe Elliott, background vocals. Ian Hunter, piano. I Hate Hate. Some of the same characters. Angel, Taylor Hawkins, drums, electric guitars, electric piano, background vocals. I didn't know Taylor Hawkins played guitar well. Duff McKagan, bass. Brad Whitford, slide guitar. Hunter, piano. Kiss and Make Up. This is probably my least favorite song, but I do like it. Taylor Hawkins, drums. Billy Bob Thornton, percussion, lead and backup vocals. Billy Gibbons, electric rhythm and lead guitars. J.D. Andrew, bass. James Maestro, electric guitar. Ian Hunter, electric guitar. This is what I'm here for. Great way to end the album. Taylor Hawkins, drums. Joe Elliott, background vocals. Paul Page, bass. Ian Hunter, piano. Now, as far as songs go, I like them all. Title track is amazing. Bed of Roses is fantastic. No Hard Feelings is fantastic. Pavlov's Dog is amazing. Don't Tread on Me is okay. Slightly above average, I guess. Guernica is fabulous, as I said. I Hate Hate is wonderful. Angel is great. Kiss and Make Up, as I said, is okay. And This Is What I'm Here For is wonderful. So you got, like the previous album that I mentioned, Defiance Part 2, ... Fiction. There's some heavy rockers on here. Ian Hunter style heavy rockers. Think of the first album, that kind of stuff. Or his career overall. And some Light and Shade and some ballady type stuff, or slower mid to slow tempo type stuff. Wonderful album. So that is number 8. Number 7, The Artful Dodger. Let's see, let me get my notes. Here we go. Now, the opening song, Too Much, is a love song. Some quotes from the song. All I ever wanted, it was to lose myself in you. So a love song. Now is the time. The next song, another sentimental song. You have some Hammond organ here that sounds very akin to Ken Hensley's Uriah Heep. I got goosebumps the first time I heard this, and I get goosebumps every time I hear it. It's about 3/4 into the song that you feel that, hear that, and feel it. It's wonderful. Then the song Something to Believe In. You have this harmonica. It's a harmonica-rich song, very Dylan-esque, and it's a very hopeful tune. I like it. Then you have Resurrection Mary. This is the best song of the first 4 songs on this album. Maybe even the best song on this album. Actually, second best. I love it. Walk on Water, upbeat tune, good solid tune, although I don't like the chorus. 23A, Swan Hill, more harmonica, but it's a solid tune. And then the heartbreaker of the song is Michael Picasso, which is the gem of the album, and this is Hunter's tribute to his buddy, his good buddy, Mick Ronson, because Mick Ronson had passed away right before, around the time before this album came out. The live version is even better on The Truth, the Whole Truth, and Nothing But the Truth 2 live CD, which is quite good. So it's the downer of a song, but it's a tribute to Mick Ronson, who I love as a musician. It's just a wonderful song. Next is Open My Eyes, a slow song, builds up a bit in tone, nice tune, moody, bluesy guitar. Last third picks up, then this organ comes in, which is the best part of the song, and then the guitar kicks in a little bit briefly, and it slows down again. The Artful Dodger is next, the title track, a very good upbeat song, and it's a cool rocker. Next is Skeletons. It's silly, it's quirky, it's okay. Again, not big on quirky. Still the Same is next, a slow, moody, melancholy, but a good song. And then finally, All Effed Up, moody, speaking to someone who screwed up. The very end of the song is a little upbeat, but it's mostly slow, but a very good song. I do like Disclosure. Again, all effed up. It's a bonus single B-side track if you get this version, which came out in 2014, not the original release. All right, next. I just love this next album. And talking about Rant, this is the alternate cover because the original had his face up close, kind of like Shrunken Heads, and he looks very pissed off. But again, what did I say about albums that have, song titles that have the phrase rock and roll in it? Well, the opening track is Still Love Rock and Roll, and we have an homage back to Mott the Hoople days, because when you get to the end of the song, you have him running his hands over the keys and saying, "That's all," that classic thing we love about, one of the many things we love about Ian Hunter. This is a great song. Great flourish at the end, like I said. All right, wonderful song. Wash Us Away, wow. Great acoustic piece, it's very Dylan-esque. Emotive song, captures much about what Hunter is all about. He mentions The Young and the Restless and Brave and the Bold, those soap operas as allusions to types of people. Next is Death of a Nation, slow acoustic piece, harmonica intro. He has a dream about having drinks with royalty, Winston Churchill, the King, etc. Very good song, so talking about England or Britain. Next is a quirky but likable song called Morons. This is relevant to today. Again, one of his silly songs, but rather a good one. Probably his best silly song because it's so relevant to today with people who are stupid. All right, next is Purgatory. Quasi-quirky song, another critical song of certain demographics of society. In this case, he's talking about beautiful people, so perhaps people of privilege. Not sure what he means by that, but he's very critical of certain people. The background vocals at times are good. It's a good song. Next is American Spy. I like it, but just slightly above average song. It's good, it's not great. The guitar, though, is fabulous. Though it's cliche, it's a blues cliche. You listen to it and go, yeah, I've heard this before, but I like it, it's a fun song. Next is Dead Man Walking, and in parentheses, EastEnders. Sad, slow, powerful, emotive, beautiful song, dripping with meaning. Yeah. All right. Good Samaritan. Underrated song in his catalog, if you ask me. Light and Shade song. Singing from experience, it seems. It's a fabulous song. Love it. Soap and Water. Acoustic, country vibe. Guitar's cool. Guitar-wise, it has an acoustic country vibe. Slow ballad, but it's a good song. It's meditative. He sings, "I can't believe what you did. Who gave you the right to be the keeper of my past?" So this is relevant to today. Finally, last three songs. Rip Off. Nice tune. Tap your feet to it. Great lyrics. A must-have song, if you ask me. He sings "England's such a rip-off," talking about taxes maybe, living in exile, that kind of thing. Next is "Knees of My Heart." So amazing. One of my favorite songs by him, totally, in his whole discography. At first it's a slow, emotive song, but then it transitions to a more upbeat song. He perhaps is singing about his lovely wife, Trudy. And then the next song is "No One," which is a great closing track, perhaps also about Trudy. It's a slow song about loneliness, finding love, just wonderful. All right, so that is the wonderful Rant album. There's the back, great. There's some wonderful photos of Hunter. Is he a Sir Ian Hunter now? Can someone post in the comments if that's true? I'm not sure. That would be cool if he was, of course. All right, that was number 6, Rant. Number 5 is Dirty Laundry. This is the re-released copy, different album cover. The previous one had the laundromat or the washing machine with his face and the band in the back, like they're spinning kind of thing. And like all the good ones are taken years ago, I tried to track that down, but people wanted too much money for it. And I saw someone had announced that this was coming out, so I grabbed it. All right, so let's talk about some of the songs on Dirty Laundry. If I can find my notes here. Yes, here we go. All right, I got lots of notes for this one. Actually, let me put this back where I had it. Or let's put it up here. All right, so the first track, "Dancing on the Moon." There's the R&B background vocals in the song. I like it. Then you have "Another Fine Mess." Let's see, where was I? Yes. Another Fine Masters, second song. Intro sounds like Fine Young Cannibals. It's okay. It's 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 actually better than okay. I just don't like some of the Fine Young Cannibals live. It's in between the two. Scars, acoustic intro, slow number. I still got your blood running through my veins. He sings, it's great. Never Trust a Blonde, a great fun song. It's a nice rocker, slight country feel, vocal wise to it. He sings a little different from what we normally expect, but I do like it. Never Trust a Blonde, great song. Next is Psycho Girl. Intro has an 80s Cure vibe to it. I don't like the Cure, not my cup of tea, although the guitar is cool here. It has an Elvis Costello feel to it. Intentional, I'm not sure. I take it back. It's okay. It's not a bad song. It's just okay. Have to be in a mood to listen to it. Next is My Revolution. Great guitar intro, very good song. Lyrics, he sings so much for Revolution. Didn't go the way as planned, I guess. Next song is Good Girls. Intro. What the hell did I write here? Oh well. Well, I wrote it's a good song. It has an 80s vibe to it, but then it changes. It comes back around. Well, what I like about the song is it has an 80s vibe to it, but it rocks, if that makes sense. It doesn't have that overall lameness from the one-hit wonder decade, right, kind of thing to it. So I do like it. Still trying to figure out what I wrote here about the intro. Anyway, next is Red Letter Day. And this is a nice, slow love song. I like it very much. Next is Invisible Strings. This is a nice song too. It's an acoustic tune, mostly. And there's some electric guitar in the background, steel guitar. Quite cool. Everyone's a Fool is the next track. This is a great song. Ian singing in a different way. Hard to describe, but it's great. Next is Junkie Love. Great guitar intro. It's a fun song. He sings Junkie See, Junkie Do, etc. Fun lyrics. Great bluesy steel guitar. It's a cool rocker. Finally, The Other Man to close the album out. A nice slow song about love and forgiveness, sort of. Slow steel guitar, country bar, feel vibe to it. The organ here is a nice touch. I like the blues here, the country blues. I don't always do, but here I like it. But the organ is a nice touch in the background. So I really like this album. Years ago I had this way down, but of course I had to re-listen to everything here. And this is something I've been working on for probably the last 2.5 weeks. So I wanted to be thorough. So yes, I definitely believe Dirty Laundry belongs in the 5 spot. All right, number 4. Now we're getting to the nitty gritty, folks. Oh, I need that page, don't I? No, I don't. All right. All right, number 4 is his second sophomore effort, All-American Alien Boy. See, he sings a lot about America, has America in his titles. And what can we say about All-American Boy? This is a different album from his debut. He went in a different direction. You got Jaco Pastorius playing on this. You have David Sanborn playing on this album, which means there's some jazz stuff here going on, and I do like it, and some R&B elements. With the exception of Restless Youth being the only true rocker here. Much of what's here is a singer-songwriter type vibe feel, so mid or slow tempo ballady like slow songs. I do like. You have Freddie Mercury, Brian May, and Roger Taylor, so 3/4 of Queen singing on the song You Really Did Me In, which is just a gem. This is a great album. All-American Alien Boy. Coming in at number 3, most critics find this to be their favorite. It's my 3rd favorite. You're Never Alone with the Schizophrenic. Just Another Night. What a great way to open an album. It's fabulous. Wild East is a good song. Cleveland Rocks, we all know the song, which was taken from England Rocks from Overnight Angels and then transitioned. So again, look, Ian's a big all-in with America, right? All right, Ships. Such a wonderful song that even Barry Manilow did a cover version of the song. Ships is wonderful. When the Daylight Comes. I lost my place, folks. Sorry about that. Yes. When the Daylight Comes is just amazing, I think. Life After Death, quite good. Standing in My Light, I think this is a wonderful song. Bastard, kind of a bit repetitive with the lyrics and maybe some of the music after a while. And I'm not sure if there's a bridge. It's one of those songs you have to search. There is a bridge you have to search for. It's kind of hard to pick out, but I do like it. He does that sometimes. I do like it. And then the final song, track number 9, is The Outsider. This is a wonderful song. It's also, I have the 2-disc version here, which I won't go into. It's just demo versions of some of the songs or most of the songs I already mentioned, and it's worth having. He does have, let's see, what did I write here? Oh, not on my, there is a version where he does a whole lot of shaking going on, but it's not on my version. So there's more than one version of this. This is dynamite, folks. This is worth having. Again, You're Never Alone with a Schizophrenic, penned by many critics as their favorite Ian Hunter album. My third favorite. Next, YUI Orta, his collaboration with Mick Ronson. I just love this album. You have, excuse me. So, let's talk. Oh, beg your pardon. Let me pick something up. I dropped my number 1. Oops. All right, folks, so let's discuss YUI Orta. Opens with the song American Music. Tribute to American music, slow tune but emotive. He has some lyrics that are a tribute to American music, hence the song title. He mentions Dock of the Bay, and he mentions a whole lot of shaking going on. He sings those phrases in the song. Next is a song, Loner, wonderful rocker. I think it's awesome. There's a great guitar here. Anyway, next song is Women's Intuition. This is also a fun song, part of what he does in his discography. But you have some more kick-ass guitar from Ronson. Of course, you're going to have that right. What a great duo. Then you have the slow rocker, Tell It Like It Is, the 4th song. The opening notes sound like Bang-A-Gone from T-Rex, but slowed down. I don't know if that's intentional or an accident. Either way, I like it. And the bass is dynamite. Next is Living in the Heart. What a great love song and ballad. A song about loss. Because you've pushed someone away. Great song. Next is Big Time. It's an okay song. It's a piano song, dance hall type song. Maybe even swing with a blues rockabilly feel to it. That 50s style guitar. Think Brian Setzer. Yeah, that kind of thing. All right, it's okay. Next is Cool. That's the name of the song. Funky bass, fun song. Great guitar here. Cool guitar intro. Horn section goes well with the song, and I'm not the biggest fan of horns in rock music, but I do like it here. Next is Beg a Little Love. It's an okay song. Probably it is my least favorite. Drum intro, then guitar, background singers, R&B flavor. Really not exactly my cup of tea. Next is Following in Your Footsteps. It's a slow piece, the type we want from Ian. Poetic style, background vocalists. I like it. Next is Sons and Lover. It's an okay song, has an 80s vibe to it. Drums, bass guitar, all feel very 80s. This came out in 89, so we're in the late 80s, so it's still got that kind of 80s, early 80s flavor to it, sort of. Next is the song Pain. Great guitar here. Although the first solo from Ronson is more of that 80s type feel to it, it's okay. But then the second solo that follows right after is heavy, and it's fabulous, it's great, it's awesome. Next to the song Sweet Dreamer. This is a fabulous bluesy instrumental. No words needed here. Ronson's just playing his heart out. And then it's essentially what it is Ronson on guitar, and underneath in the back of the mix is Hunter on piano, and it's glorious. That's all I have to say. That's just great. And then the last 2 tracks, if you have the bonus track version, are Mick Ronson songs. Ronson singing vocals, but they're here and they're fabulous. 4th Hour of My Sleep from 1990. This is a nice rocker. Ronson's just a treasure. And then Power of Darkness, also from 1990. And again, Ronson on vocals. So back to Sweet Dreamer for a minute. I meant to say that essentially that song lets the guitar speak for itself. I'm sorry, the guitar speaks for itself because you don't need vocals. It's that powerful. It's that good. So overall, this album is so great because it's on the level with the expectations that we want from Ian Hunter. And the songs that quite aren't there, they're close enough. So, and I mentioned those. So, and then you get the 2 bonus Mick Ronson songs, which I think are fabulous. I don't know if Ian played on those or not, but they're great. So finally, you figured out what my number 1 is by process of elimination. And yes, it is the debut. As much as I like everything in the stack, with the exception of number 16, I wish he would have did more in the vein of this. But hey, this is some great stuff too. So, we all know Once Bitten, Twice Shy. What a great song, a great rocker. It's fun as well. Who Do You Love is also, this is one of these albums that's great from start to finish. Let's see. Did I? No, I didn't. Yeah. Sorry about that. Fabulous song. Lounge Lizard is amazing. Now we all know the song Boy. If we're a big Ian Hunter fan, this is kind of a mid to slow tempo tune, and the phrasing from Ian Hunter is ingenious in the way that he's talking to said boy. It's great. 3,000 Miles From Here is fabulous. And then probably my favorite song on the album, The Truth, The Whole Truth, and Nothing But the Truth. Hunter just singing his heart out. It Ain't Easy When You Fall. Wow. I get emotional every time I hear the song. It's great. Shades Off. Fabulous. And then I get so excited. Great way to end the album. This is a great album for so many reasons. It's his best work in my opinion. Again, nothing to sneeze at, mostly with the stuff I presented, but this is the one that resonates with all of this resonates with me, except, as I said, most of the last album. Most of Short Back and Sides, the 4th album from him that he collaborated with Mick Jones with. But boy, if this resonates with me, something powerful, this is, and that's here, this is way up here. That's how good it is. Again, great from start to finish. And what I was going to say was what's also great about this album is that this is a nice transition between his time in Mott the Hoople and his solo career. It's a nice transition between the two because you have that flavor that you get from Mott the Hoople plus seeing where he's going in his solo career. Please click the notification and like button if you're so inclined, and please consider subscribing to the channel. Have a wonderful day. Take care now.